And now got to remember how to live on Facebook. Okay. Okay. I think we're recording.
Yep, just
We
came
are
up
live
on.
on Facebook once again, and good morning, everyone. It's Brenda and Dr. Dave here with Breakfast with the Devas, and it's been a little bit of time since we've seen you, so I'm so happy to be back and get to play with Dr. Dave and have lots of wonderful adventures again. So good morning, Dr. Dave. How you doing today?
Good morning. Great. I'm so excited. We're finally here again. It's been way too long. So I'm really happy that we get to be here and excited to, yeah, get back to it. Feeling really good about that. So that's awesome. We had a
Absolutely.
little bit of a life adventure in between last time we were on.
Yeah, I'd say.
Wasn't an understatement.
It was like a 90-degree turn this way,
Mhm.
instead of,
Yeah.
oh, I've got it all planned and I'm going this way. The universe is like, no,
Just kidding.
you're going to take a detour this way for a bit and we'll see how that goes. So, yes. So, it's been a ride and continues to be one. But I'm happy to be here once again and sharing these cards and what if with everybody. And yeah, I'm just so excited. So I've been shuffling my cards here. And if you're just new here, I created some Nature's Divas cards and they're all about essential oils. So each one represents a different essential oil. And it's just a really nice way to start your day in a more positive way. So I'm going to pick three cards, and then Dr. Dave and I are going to um, talk about them and share our wisdom with you. And yeah, we'd love to hear what you receive, what speaks to your heart. And yeah, we'll go from there. So our first one is going to be cedarwood.
Yummy.
Our second one is going to be Melissa.
Oh, yay.
That's a nice one.
That's some high power
And the
movement.
third one is going to be Palo Santo.
Mm-hmm.
So let's
Hmm.
get to the reading. So our first one is this represents what is going on and what you have right now in your life. So what I'm going to do is just read the first part of the book, which is the Diva's message to us. So let me see here. I am cedarwood, and I am versatile. My wood is used to create chests and furniture, my branches for smudging, to raise the energy and vibration. Sit with me for a few moments and let your mind wander. Breathe in my woodsy scent. Feel my energy flow through your body. Release fears and negative emotions. Breathe in knowing you are safe, your needs are met, and you are cared for. Release any stress or worry. So, what a nice way to begin this reading is having that knowledge, that deep knowing within that all our needs are met. And no matter what struggles you're going through, the universe has your back. So, I've been going through health struggles. That's why I had to sort of take a step back, having some surgeries and being in the hospital and things like that. And I'm still going through this journey, but I know that this experience that I'm having is going to help me be able to share with others. So there's no fear. There's no like, oh my goodness. It's more of, okay, I need to experience this in order for me to help others and help them that may not have that peace of mind and that knowing within that I'm going to be okay. So if anybody is struggling with health issues right now and have that fear, just know that the universe has a bigger plan for you, and check in and see what that is. And have you been, sometimes when things like this happen, it's more of a wake up call to say, hey, are you on your path? Are you doing what you came down here to do? So as I was going on my path, the universe like, hey, you're gonna go sideways here and take this path. So it was just more of like, I wrote the what if book, I created these oracle cards, but all that is part of my healing journey as well. So this is just an added layer to be able to share with others that are struggling in whatever way they're struggling, is that there's tools out there to be able to help you, to be able to heal yourself. And it's just sharing those tools with the world. So it's just, this experience is more of, okay, now I can really resonate with other people and empathize with them, because I can say now, I had the experience with my mom. That's what started me on my healing journey. She passed away when I was 27, but that started me on my journey and why I'm here right now. Then 10 years later, my dad had cancer, and I was able to help him with all the knowledge that I'd learned. So it was more of a secondhand knowledge I had. And now I am experiencing that firsthand. So it's just another layer. So just know that whatever you're struggling with, this might be a wake up call to say, hey, are you on the path that you need to be, or that you chose before you came down here? What are your thoughts on this, Dr. Dave?
Well, thank you for sharing all of that, because that is the most concise Reader's Digest version of the past few months that I've ever heard. I'm sure that we'll be exploring a lot more of that as some of the episodes progress, because it really was amazing to be able to watch Grace, that flew through. It flowed really in and around you. I don't know how I don't think I've ever seen or witnessed somebody that has able to have so much grace in the adversity that you did. And had you not had those other experiences before, I think that would have probably been a very different whole experience. Not that it lessened it or minimizes it, any of those things. I just, wow, it was outstanding and inspiring. And I'm sure there's going to be a book somewhere coming about it, maybe saying.
My daughter suggested that it should go along with the what if book in more
Mm.
detail on my life's journey and why I say some of the things that I say. She's like, I can remember situations, so it's nice to be able to expand on those, and then
Right.
what's going on now. So yeah, guaranteed there's probably going to be a book in there somewhere.
Awesome. So coming back to Cedarwood, it is so comforting and enveloping. There's so many different uses that we have for it that we can use, but a lot of times it's getting that centered but comfortable, homey um, safety. I guess I would have to say that I just feel like a warm, fuzzy, almost a heavy blanket of like it's solid, like it's got you. You've got this stability, and because it just comes. If you look at where we get it from, it's one of those really deep rooted. it can withstand time. It can go through all of the changes of the seasons and still be absolutely majestic. You know, the whole cycle all the way through. Huh. Wow. Just put that connection together, you and Cedarwood. Like, about, yeah, what I just said. That could have been about the oil, or it could have been about about Brenda. That's fun. Didn't even look at it that way until just now. Um, Cedarwood, in a lot of Native American traditions, cedar is it is one of the sacred medicines that we use, of the four sacred medicines. And there are different tribes in social groups that use it as a smudge, meaning that they use that to clear out space. Um, we don't, in the traditions that I've worked in. It is part of the sacred ones that we always have. We have in our medicine bag. However, it is we usually use sage, which a lot of folks are more familiar, especially New Agers, folks that about sage. But it is nonetheless, it is that's what I wanted. It just came back around full circle. Thanks for going on that journey, everybody. It was a um, because it has this a touch point with our ancestors. Cedarwood does. And you know, in Ojibwe, the cedar, not even just Ojibwe, there's Lakota, some of the ceremonies that I've seen, those are always on the arbors. They create the arbors for a powwow or ceremonies that they have. And it's helping usher in um, asking for the ancestors to provide that hall around us, if you will, the connection to know that they've got us, they're there and they're supporting. But at the same time, it is a you do you. We've got this. We're kind of holding you there. We're going to hold that foundation around you. Um, so that I absolutely love using cedarwood. It's really fun to take all those essential oils from the sacred medicines too, and blending them together. That's pretty interesting. That's incredible. So I think that a lot of times, folks, one of the recommendations as a general rule for cedarwood is to help with sleep. It's one of those that gets you into that restorative because it helps with that grounding in the centering, in the restorative. To me, it's kind of that when we're sleeping, it's that bridge of keeping us in the, what do they call it? Earthing, I think, when they tell people
Mhm.
to walk barefoot kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's funny that it's a thing now. People call it. Okay. Because yeah. Anyway, so, but it does help you keep that grounding. So that is that bridge. I think that helps keep you tethered to the 3D realm while you're in astral travel, while you're rejuvenating, your body's rejuvenating, and it has that touch point of this is where your body will be, and it will be better when you come back from your dreamscape. That's all I got.
Awesome. Thank you very much. There's so many things that we are capable of doing. It's just trying them and just opening yourself to possibilities. So we'll be talking about that like half an hour.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's so many
Yeah.
possibilities, and the world is our oyster if we choose to see it that way, and that there's so many options and possibilities out there, which is really exciting. So Melissa represents all the old beliefs that we need to release. So let's see what we're needing to release today. There's always stuff to let go of. You can't hold on to everything.
Sure. Well, we should absolutely.
No, definitely not. Hi, I'm Melissa. And even though I'm a very textured plant, don't let that fool you. I bring out the gentleness and the softness in oneself. As you look at my veins running up from the stem out to the reaches of each and every leaf, know that I bring nourishment to feed and sustain. My veins are thick and strong, and nothing can block me from bringing up the nutrients. I also help with pushing through and removing those energy blockages bringing support and balance to you. So, who's got some negativity that they need to get rid of today and let go of? When we hold on to things and, different experiences or just different things that may have happened to you, or you think of something and it just starts bringing up all these different thoughts and most of it is negative, it's time to let it go, because the more you hold on to that, the more it affects your physical body. And eventually, if you don't let those things go, they manifest physically in your body. So this also comes around to health as well, that when you are going through health experiences and, just different things, that it's very, very important to look within what's going on. What are you holding on to? What in your childhood, what traumas have happened that you are not letting go of? Because those traumas, what they do is they eat away at your body. They eat away at your soul. They eat away at things, which causes dis-ease in your body, which shows up as different things, whether that be cancer or, any number of different dis-eases in your body. So it's really important to let those things go. And it's pretty much if you've had cancer in the past, for instance, and you've gone into remission, but then it comes back, it's because the root of the problem has not been fixed. So in order to get to the root of the problem, you need to dive deep into yourself and figure out what that is. And once you've done that, then this has no meaning anymore. And then your physical body will be healthy. It's because it's holding on to these little pockets of anger and frustration or whatever else, and then it manifests in those areas. So for instance, if you have issues with your liver, you might want to look at what you're angry at, because anger is held in the liver. And, colon, what are you not releasing? Because that's all about letting go and releasing. So if you're holding on to different things, and a great book to read is You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, because it goes through all the different dis-eases and explains what the manifestation of that is from. And then you can sort of go from there and figure it out. And, coaching is really good to help with that. If you need that, reach out to Dr. Dave and I. But it's really, really important to look within, because that's where you're going to find the answers. You're not going to find them out here. You're going to find them within here. And our soul knows what they are. Our heart knows what they are. It's just a matter of gaining access to those areas to be able to bring them up, to let them go. And if you don't want to let them go, the question is, why not? What is that? Why are you holding on to that? Is it because you like the attention that you might be getting? Or do you like playing the victim? Or is there some other reason? You are not defined by the issues that you have, because you're a being of light, and you are not defined by anything. You are just this wonderful being, which can be so much more than being put in this box that you are defining yourself as. And another question to ask yourself, if I don't want to let go of it now, when? When do you want to let go of that? Pick a date and let it go. Dr. Dave?
Yeah, I knew there was going to be lots in there, but lots to chat on this one.
Yeah.
It's an amazing oil. It is definitely one of those high frequency. It means business, with the most gentle and easy, but it is definitely a power for sure. And so it is about, as you were talking about that, the restorative aspect of it and letting things go, it's going to help you realize what it is and why it's a benefit, why you want to let that go, whatever those things are. As Brenda was describing about that dis-ease within the body system, and for some of the folks that might be new to some of these philosophies or teaching, I'm sure that people were like, "Did she just say, why would I wanna be a victim? Why do I play that role? Or why, why do I have this pain? Why would I like any of those things?" Well, we're not necessarily talking about a conscious choice. It's usually always a subconscious choice. It is gaining us something. So all human behavior is gaining something. And so the universe does not see it as a positive or negative. Uh, it just is. And so it doesn't see that the pain is a positive or negative. That's our choice to label it. It could be a positive, turning it around, that pain's gonna remind me to keep moving. I gotta keep going if I don't want to have that as an experience. The identifying that victim stance that we have, that so many folks, that's the only way that they operate. How often this is something to ask yourself or pay attention to, not only for yourself, but everybody around you and the people that you interact with. Look at the levels of power that you begin talking with them every single uh, interaction, or when you first meet folks. We go through that whole process of, where you live, what do you do. We're going through the chakra system as we're meeting that. Most folks aren't thinking it that way, but that is what we're doing. We're checking boxes to find out where we're at. And then if you find out that that person had cancer, or that I'm a survivor, or I'm going through any of that stuff, now we hop over to, I have to be more wounded than you are because I need more attention. You're not stealing it. And it is not, again, it is not a conscious choice. That is a subconscious belief structure of gaining a support, gaining a sympathy. um, it gives us power, even though it's not the power we would like, or that we should be using. It does come down to manipulation, really, because how often do we like, oh, I can't do that because da 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 da, my back, I can't do this, can't do that. And then we're just expected to get the free pass because we've already labeled it as, these are our wounds. So you don't get to trump my wound, or my victim stance. It is going to be about how and what is it, how is it serving us? So instead of looking at if it's serving us, how about we just skip a good step there and go, it is serving us. Now, if it is, let's just pretend that it is. Even if we don't want to admit that, that's fine. Pretend that it might be. And then start evaluating with the truest, most earnest questions that you turn inward and start asking, okay, I'm going to go follow this dude because I don't know, this is craziness, but I'm going to try it. And then look at how and what is it that is it's gaining for you. And remember, I did not say that it is a positive or negative, but it is getting you something. So start identifying some of those, because when you start identifying those within yourself and learning how you're managing your power, your energy system, you'll then be able to recognize why a lot of folks around you are operating in the victim stance that they do, looking at what is it getting them. And by all means, do not bring that as a confrontation of like, well, I just heard this thing, and so I know you're using this, as power. You're trying to manipulate me with, no, well, I promise you that will not go well the way that you're hoping it's going to. um, yeah, that's a whole different war, because that becomes tribal warfare. It really does, on an energetic level. Of you challenging someone, and if they don't even know why you might be asking that, even though it could be coming from a place of compassion and wanting to learn what it is getting them, because it's their life experience, so it's there for something that they want to grow and enlighten themselves through. Okay, that was a lot right there. um, Melissa is, I don't really like it on its own, by the way. I, I just don't like the smell. It's weird. But then I love it when with some of the citrus or any of those other, if you mix it with, um, yeah, whew, there's a combo. Jasmine and Melissa, put those two together.
Mm.
Some good stuff.
Mhm.
Ooh, that is a powerful, and just get ready to receive a crap ton of love from everywhere, because that is the only vibration that those two oils can do. It's just going to be all encompassing love, and mostly unconditional. It doesn't have those parameters or filters. That's what those oils will help you walk through that door, that threshold of any of those conditions, preconceived um, expectations. That's what really helps you with. So getting Melissa, and giving yourself the gift of putting it on your heart space. If you do that heart space work, please make sure that you're putting it on your solar plexus as well, which would be your stomach area, because that's the seat of the soul. So we need to have both of them in coherence. We need to have that the solar plexus as well as our heart all in unison. So if we just do the work on the heart, we need to make sure that we're keeping that wonderful connection between the heart as well as the rest of the coherence, the energy of the rest of the body. So that's probably one of my favorite hand positions when I'm doing energy work with folks. Um, if everybody, I would love for everybody to just spend a couple minutes a day, but just try and see what it feels like for you. If you place your hand on your heart and then your other hand on your stomach, and just let it be. Just feel what that feels like. But it's gonna just take a little bit of time and breathe through it, feeling it, what that is, what's going through there, because you're gonna start noticing it's going to light up, illuminate a lot of our filters that we have between the two that are not connected. That it's going to need to break through those barriers so that we do have that wonderful connection of our heart and our soul are one. And so aligning ourselves again. So that is my all-time favorite. If I can't do any other hand position for anyone, whether it's in a hospital or wherever we happen to be working with someone, if you can just do that one thing, the body's like, oh, thank God we just did a reset. It's like turn your computer off and turn it back on again. That's what that feels like, is realigning, that wonderful heart space as well as your solar plexus. So, more on that later, because I would love to share a protocol that actually I started working with my energetic team, with that hand position, to working through some traumas and reintroducing people to themselves without the filters.
Mm.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, so we'll talk about that later. Melissa,
Awesome. That's
please use it.
exciting. We might be able to do that in our meditation class coming up.
Huh, you need the one tonight? That would be a great idea. Thank you. Thank you for lobbing that one in there.
Yeah, that sounds like it'd be a wonderful, progression doing that for
It
a couple
absolutely
of
is.
the.
Yeah. I've done that, and it actually hadn't been on my radar for tonight. I didn't have one yet, but that is absolutely perfect. Oh, so good.
I
Because it's
love
so
when a
easy.
plan comes together.
Absolutely. And it's perfect because, right here in the United States, we're in the Thanksgiving week, for us. And so we're going to have a lot of opportunities to reconnect ourselves when we have to revisit some of those tribal belief systems that a lot of us are not fans of. Family time is what I'm saying.
Mm.
Just
Oh yes, it's
so it's
Thanksgiving today down there, isn't it? Happy Thanksgiving.
no
No,
Thursday.
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 Oh, okay. Well,
Always
happy
on a
early
Thursday.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Yeah, a perfect opportunity, because then sharing that with other folks in your family, oh, that would be amazing.
And the
Okay,
gratitude too, because it's all about being thankful.
absolutely. And yeah, a lot of times for me that it's just a synonym of gratitude, love. Um, it's just a different. It's the same energy almost because you can't get to one without the other.
Right.
So yeah, so good.
Awesome. So exciting.
Shoot
So
my
our
phone. Sorry.
third card is Palo Santo, and that represents the course of action that needs to be taken in order to manifest this. So imagine resting underneath the shade of my tree. Your back is against my trunk, and my leaves are rustling in the breeze. Feel the energy from me as well as from Mother Earth as you sit here quietly resting. Breathe through your heart center. Wow, we didn't even know that was coming up. There it is. Enjoying the sights and sounds of nature. I'm Palo Santo, and I help ground and center you. Well, look at how that just neatly tied itself into a bow, as usual.
Yes, I'm so glad to be back in this space. I love that. It's so fun.
So
Yeah,
taking that
unbelievable.
time to be and that course of action, it's not really doing, it's being. It's taking that time to be, to look back through your life, to connect with that heart center, to connect with your solar plexus, to move through those traumas, to release and let go, and to know that the universe, everything is as it should be. You are exactly where you need to be. How you perceive what's going on is the most important thing. Because if you perceive it as a bad thing, it's going to be bad. If you perceive this as something positive, then that's what it's going to be. Because all experiences, they aren't good or bad, just like Dr. Dave finished saying. It's what emotions we put to it and what our perception is of it. So if we perceive, like I said, with my health challenges that I'm having, I see this is something positive because I'm going to be able to help others. I'm sharing how my struggles and my journey with everyone that's watching, as well as providing tools that you can help in order to heal yourself as well as Dr. Dave. And like between us, we have lots of tools, and then we share other tools, like there's so many different things out there. We are creating a meditation class, so which starts tonight at 7. So we're going to have the meditation class. We have these episodes every Monday morning starting back up as of today. So we have oracle cards, the what if book. So there's all these different things that you pick whatever works and resonates with you to help you work through those things that you need to. So there's lots of different opportunities, there's lots of different possibilities, and not everything works for everybody. And that's why there's so many different things you can choose from, because we're all different. We all resonate with different things. We have our own perceptions and beliefs and things like that. So we resonate with things differently. And it's just finding what works for you and doing it. That's pretty much it. But taking that time to get back into nature, to connect, to know that we are all connected, all kingdoms. We are connected to all kingdoms. And to feel the energy from that is absolutely amazing. And to feel the energy from a tree and just to hear the sights and sounds of nature, it just brings everything. It's peaceful, it resonates and speaks to your heart and your soul. Dr. Dave?
Wow. I'm just astounded. I mean, uh, wow. I love they just we're just puppets. for the universe. I love it. It's great. It's so good. I was just thinking because Palo Santo is one of the essential oils that we have just gotten with the company that I work with for oils this year. Um, no, sorry, that was last year. And so I don't know that much about it, other than, I mean, I know about it. I know that there's a lot of folks that use it for smudging also, especially like below the equator. A lot of folks um, will use that. And what astounds me is where we usually harvest these oils. Um, Cedarwood, we usually for the company that I work with, is in northern Canada and some in the United States, but a lot of it is in Canada. Um, and then our Palo Santo that comes from Venezuela, Brazil. So we got the top and bottom, you know, and then it packages in with the Melissa that's at the Heart Center. I love
Mm.
how it just sandwiched all that. I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding. That's freaking awesome. It's like, whoa. So it's the symbolism really is with this combination of oils that the Devas wanted us to examine and work with is clearing, smudging, if you will, whatever filter, whatever static that you might have um, that's hindering your spiritual connection with your source energy, because that's working with those higher vibrations, you know, that are in our crown chakra and our how we connect with our source. But then also we're getting the Palo Santo where it's making sure that there's no barrier, there's no filter, you know, smudge, clear anything that might be keeping you from planting yourself on the earth and being able to ground yourself as well, because we want that wonderful flow. And in the middle, as that gets cleared, the energy is not going anywhere, and you're not going to be able to use or tap into that wonderful divine essence that can do anything. And I mean anything if it doesn't go through that heart chakra. So our heart chakra is actually the drum that starts putting out the vibration and frequency. That heartbeat, being that drum, is going to be pounding that out to the universe of what I'm choosing to manifest, what I'm wanting to experience, who I choose to have in my life, what experiences I love to have, all of that. So when we clear those channels, there's no filter above and below. And then we get that heart center, that wonderful drum moving and beating in the way that we choose, because it's that heart song that we're beating that out. So it's our intention every single time that we're doing that. Every beat of your heart is going out. Please make sure it is the frequency that you want that to be. You don't want to be sitting in the middle of an orchestra and you're part of that and you're on some different song and playing that. And everybody else is like, what are you doing? You know? Um, so I, as far as Palo Santo, I would really love to hear experiences from folks, how they use it in their different traditions. It's one that I have not spent much time with, which I'm really looking forward to experiencing that. And so I would love to hear from everybody about how they use it, some of the experiences that they've had with it. Um, that'd be wonderful. So I love, I don't have all the answers. And that's how we get to do that, and to be able to gather those wonderful stories and the accounting of what people have gone through and how it's helped them. So it's really powerful when we can share that, because it then is honoring the oil or the source, you know, the trees, the plants that we're getting them from. So it's honoring the teaching of it, which is the medicine of it, is the teaching. So yeah, I'm asking for everybody to let me know what they think, feel, experience about this wonderful oil. Yay.
Awesome. Okay. Well, do you have any closing remarks about this reading that we did today?
I love it was almost like we just hit a pause button and we just hit play again because it was absolutely right back on track. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot how much they play with us. They're like, yeah, here you go. And plug those in there. Uh, I invite everybody to you watch and if you've ever watched any of the other episodes, you watch how Brenda and I interact with when we're literally just coming up with and having those live reactions because we don't know nothing is like pre-recorded or even rehearsed at all. We don't know until we're on the air, and then I'm like, oh, that's fun. And so I'm asking and inviting everyone, please give yourself permission to play with the universe. Let them walk you through because I know a lot of folks may have the negative approach or they think that they're being punished. Okay, well, that's not necessarily so, but if you need it to be, that's yours, not owning it. But I also equally would really like to see and watch folks play with the universe and see how that works out too, that it can be joy. It can be fun. Just like, I'm always cracking up. Like, are you serious? This is great. Like, you guys. I love my team has a wonderful sense of humor.
Oh, they do.
That's it.
Yes, they do. And it's interesting to see how the what if, which is our second part of the episode, ties into our nature's divas and the breakfast with the divas, because that's always fun. It always finds a connection, and it's something that I just pick when I'm on the air. So it's not I choose this ahead of time so that it's the same. It's random. I ask the universe what our message is, and the universe provides. And yeah, it's very, very fun. And so I'm so excited to be back. So what we're going to do is we're going to sign off here, and then we're going to come right back for our what if segment, and we'll see what the positive possibilities are for our life today. So wherever you are, I hope you enjoyed this. Please let us know what you took away for today, what resonated with you. Let us know where you're listening in from, because that's always fun to hear where this is going in the world. And we will see you all next Monday. So have a wonderful day.
Take care, everyone.